Welcome everyone. Welcome to the chapter 7, Communication for Organizational Behavior. Today we're going to use the book by the owner of the copyright is 2023 Pearson Canada, Organizational Behavior, Concept, Controversy, and Application. This is the 9th editions by Langton, Robinson, Josh, and Yap. Okay, let's start this one. The communication process is choosing a channel. Uh, there's a there's a chapter outline here. There's very effective communications such as filtering, selective procession, information overload, emotion, language, silence, and let me just go back, make sure it is not there. Okay, choosing a channel. Okay. And going back to chapter 2, which is filtering, selection, perception, information overload, emotion, language, silence, and lying. This is barriers to effective communications. Okay, that's chapter outline. Okay, and then number 3, I think we just go flip by accident there. Organizational communications for outline will be direct communications, small group networks, and grapevine. And then in terms of mode of communication, from oral, written, nonverbal, cultural barrier to communications, cultural contact, as well as culture's guide. The learning outcomes is about 7 of them here. Describe the communication process and formal and informal communications. Show how the channel richness underlies the choice of communication channel. Identify the common barriers to effective communications. Contrast downward and upward lateral communications. Okay, and then number 5, compare contrast from a small group of network and grapevine, and contrast oral, written, and nonverbal communication. Show how to overcome the possible problem in cross-cultural communication as well. And let's start the process 1, communication process. Okay, the communication process is a step between a source and a receiver that results in the transfer of understanding of a meaning. People spend nearly 70% of their waking hours communicating in terms of writing, reading, speaking, and listening. Okay, communication is the foundation for many of things that happens among groups and within the workplace, from motivating to providing information to controlling behavior to expressing emotions. Good communication skills are very important to your career success. Formal channels are established by organizations to transmit messages related to the professional activities of members. Traditionally, follow the authority chain within the organization. Information channels are communication channels that are created spontaneously and that emerge as response to individual choices. Communication process, a model, for example, choose the sender, choose a message, encodes the message, choose the channel, and then there's a receiver. Of course, there's some noise here. This is considered receiver. The receiver will make record the message and provide the feedback. This is the chart of the communication process models. Okay. So the process starts with the sender. The receiver consists a message, encode the message, choose the channel which reaches receiver, where the noise also reaches. The receiver also consider the sender, decodes the message, provide any feedback, and reaches to the sender. So that's basically this exhibit 7.1. And choosing a channel. The channel is the medium through which a message is traveled. Communication apprehension is under tension and anxiety about oral communications and written communication or both. Okay. Channel richness is the amount of the information that can be transmitted during the communication process. Right, let's continue. Choosing channel. Channel differs in their capacity to convey information, such as rich channel to have the ability to handle multiple cues simultaneously, facilitate rapid feedback, and be very personal. Communication process in Exhibit 7.2 here. The low channel richness is on the left, the high channel richness is on the right here, left here on the right channel. Okay. The communication channel listed from the low channel richness to high level richness as follows from formal reports, bulletins, pre-recorded speeches, online discussions, and then groups and groupware, and then live speeches, and video conferences to using memos, letters, email, voicemail, telephone conversation, face-to-face conversation. So the low from here all the way to the high, video conference, face-to-face communications. Compared to effective communications, in terms of filtering, it's a sender manipulation of information so that it will be seen more favorably by the receiver. In selective perception is the receiver selectively sees and hears based on their needs, motivations, experience, background, and other personal characteristics. Information overload is the condition in which information inflow exceeds the individual processing capacity. With email, phone call, faxes, meetings, and the need of current in one's field, more employees are suffering from too much information. If it's too much information, it's going to confuse the employees. Emotions, individuals that may interpret the same message differently when they are angry or distraught than they are happy. Depression will most likely hinder effective communications. Language, words mean different things to different people. Accent and context are two biggest factors that influence such differences. Silence, defined as an absence of speech or noise, not just an inaction or can convey, thinking or contemplating a response to questions, anxiety about speaking, agreement, dissent, frustration, or anger. Silence is individuals should be aware of what silence might mean in any communications. It can be problematic and is common in the workplace. Employees who are silenced about the important issue may also experience psychological stress. Silence is less likely where minority opinions are treated with respect. And then the next one, lying, is an outright misrepresentation of information, including withholding information. There is an enormous amount of deception happening every day in the organization. People are more comfortable lying over the phone than face-to-face. Most people are not very good at detecting deception of others. This is the key part, okay? Not many people can know that somebody's lying, so that's why there's a lie detector. All right, let's continue. The next one slide. Organizational communications, such as direct communications. Communications can flow vertically and are literally in organization through formal small group networks or informal grapevine. Downward is a communication that flows from one level of a group to a lower level, such as managers to employees. Direct communication of a communication that flows to a higher level of a group, employees to managers, becoming increasingly difficult. Later, communication among members of the same network, work in the group or individual at the same level. Small group network, connection by which information flow from a network are thus related in terms of communication that flow the authority of a chain. Small group communication is chain, wheel, or all-channel communication network that stem from the larger informal communication network. Chain is here, wheel is here, all channels here. Okay, this is illustrations of speed of accuracy, emergence of a leader, and a member satisfaction of the three common small groups. The chain group shows 5 members. Okay, 5 members connected to each other, forming pentagon that has moderate speed, high accuracy, and moderate emergence of a leader, and moderate member satisfactions. Okay, this is 5 people. The wheel group shows 1 member connected to 4 other members. Okay, that has speed, that has fast speed, high accuracy, and high emergence of a leader, and low member satisfactions. The all-channel group, here this is the all-channel group, shows 5 members connected to each other, forming a pentagon of each other member is connected to 2 members of the group, which has fast speed, moderate accuracy, non-emergence of a leader, and high member satisfaction. So this is this is the best one, high satisfaction. Okay, and then this one is less, the least satisfaction. Here is much more moderate. See the key shot here? Moderate, low, and high. The grapevine, informal communications, network communication that flow along social and relational lines. The grapevine is the organization's most common informal network. Modes of communication is organization include oral, written, and non-verbal communication. Oral communication include meeting, video conferencing, and conference calling, and telephone. Written communication, letter, presentation, slide, email, instant messaging, and text messaging. Okay. Written communications, like you can use social media, apps, blogs, and others as well. Written communication through email, don't skip the subject line, give a greeting, salutations, keep sentences, paragraphs, and short use of bullet point when possible. Written communication again, email, however, don't be curt, don't be use text language, check your spelling, check it again. When people write back, reply within the 24 hours. Nonverbal communications is the messages conveyed through body movement, facial expression, and the physical distance between the sender and the receiver. And proxemic is the study of physical space in internal relationship. Cultural barriers to communication. Sources of barriers include the following, such as semantics, word connotation, tone differences in tolerance or conflicts, and methods for resolving conflicts. Most of communication again, cultural context. Culture different in the degree to which the context influence the meaning that individuals take from communications. Okay, the high context cultures are cultures that rely heavily on the nonverbal and subtle situation cues in communications. Low context cultures are cultures that rely heavily on words to convey meaning in the communications. Modes of communications can be high versus low context. A high context will be Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Vietnamese, Arab, Greek. Low context will be German, Swiss, Canadian. In the middle will be like Greek and Spanish there. Okay, this will give you the kind of high and level kind of context cultures. If you notice this, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Vietnamese, they have a unique, and Arab and Greek, they have a unique language system character. Okay, well, German also has the same, Scandinavian or North American. The middle one is Spanish, Italian. Modes of exchange, culture guide, know yourself, foster climate mutual respect, fairness, and democracy. State facts, not your interpretations, consider the other person's viewpoint as well. Proactively maintain the identity of the group. So in summary, communication is the transfer of understanding of a message between two or more people, whether it's formal or informal setting, and the choice of a channel depends on the context of the message being delivered. Okay. Summary number 2. Barriers to communication include selective perception, information overload, emotion, language, and lying. Number 4, communication that flows between members within the same group is called lateral communication. It flows from one level of a group or organization to a lower, higher level. This is downward and upward communication respectively. Number 5, small group networks stem from formal communication network and take one of the free form, chain, wheel, or all channel. The grapevine is less formal network and may include rumors and gossip in its messages. Oral communications include speeches to one, communication or group discussion. Written communication could be in the form of text, email, and social media posts. Non-verbal communication include facial and body movement. Number 7, minimizing misinterpretation to the cross-cultural communication requires knowing yourself, being respectful to others, stating the facts, consider others' viewpoints, and practically maintaining the identity of the group. So in work overview, for review, this is what you're going to do review for this particular chapter. What are the key parts in the communication process? How do you distinguish between formal and informal communication? These are the key that you're going to review. Okay, number 2. How does channels richness underline the choice of communication channel? Number 3, what are the some barriers to effective communications? Okay, maybe one person's informing the question to the others, the reception can be different. Okay, that's the key part. Lost in translation. If you watch a movie called The Lost in Translation, it's a good way of understanding the common barriers. Number 4, what are the differences among downward and upward and lateral communications? Number 5, what are the differences between formal small group, network, and the grapevine? Number 6, how do oral communication, written communication, and nonverbal communication will be different? Number 7, how do you overcome the potential problem of cross-cultural communications? So, again, for the managers here, there's a number of them. Remember that your communication mode will partly determine your communication effectiveness. If you're managers, you have to effectively communicate the messages clear and concise and direct to the people under you. Obtain feedback to make certain your messages, however they are communicated, are understood. Make sure they are understood. That's the key part. Remember that written communications create more misunderstanding than oral communications. Communicate with employees through in-person meeting when possible. So in-person is much better than non-in-person meeting. Make sure you use communication strategy appropriate to your audience and the type of messages that you are sending. Okay, keep in mind that culture can be a communication barrier. Okay, if you have a different cultures, it's a different way of doing things. Okay. Breakout group exercise that you're going to do today with your group in this class. What are the differences have you observed in the ways that men and women communicate? Number 1. Number 2, how do you know when a person is listening to you? When someone is ignoring you. Number 3, describe a situation in which you ignore someone. What impact did it have on a person's communication behavior? So this is your group exercise. Later on, you're going to practice this in class. Okay, so this basically concludes this particular chapter. So I will upload this in YouTube as well as in Edpuzzle for your interactive learning. Thank you everyone. Bye-bye.